Hey, good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I am your host, BKP. We've got a lot going on this morning. Sorry, it's already 8:01. Sorry. I've got to make sure I got the volume off on everything. We have a lot going on this morning. At 8:30, it will be time for Carla's Corner. And then at 9 o'clock, we're going to have Gina Penley in here from Georgia Mountains Hospice, and she's going to. Have you heard about? And you go online and you see all this hype about the Mardi Gras in the mountains. Well, we're going to have her in here. She's going to tell us all about that, what that's about. And then at 9:15, we're going to have tax tips with Beth Bennett. And then right after that, we're going to have Dr. David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. So we got a lot going on today. In our first 30 minutes, okay, I got a couple things that I have to address here in the first 30 minutes before we get to all of our guests today. And I was wondering, with only 30-minute opening before our action-packed Thursdays, we got a lot going on Thursday. That's when we get all of our guests in here. And I was wondering, oh, by the way, happy Valentine's Day. I'm sorry. It's 8:02. It's February 14th. For you, some of you out there, this is, okay, happy Valentine's Day. All right, are you happy now? All right, so I was wondering if I should play this 3-minute and 50-second clip with only 30 minutes in the first. And a lot of times when it comes to viewers and stuff, you don't want to play, you like to play a minute and a half, 2 minutes, sometimes almost a 4-minute clip. You lose the audience or they're not interested. But give me number one here, okay? The more we show America this, the more you get it out. See, here's the misrepresentation, obviously, is this is a joke saying this, the misrepresentation of the media out there, which is almost everything, is they continue to talk to you about these sweeping moves through Congress, this major change in Congress where Nancy is, or the House of Representatives, where Nancy Pelosi is now the Speaker of the House, and they always talk about that. And they say America. They'll say America rejected Donald Trump. Okay? America rejected Donald Trump's hatred, racism, all the above of what they think America rejected in Donald Trump. That is not true. The House of Representatives are districts, and there are districts that were very close where Democrats put up posers. They put up people that posed as moderates. They put up people that posed as conservatives. They put up people that said and posed and said that they would be willing to look at things they can work with the president. They never talk about the number of districts out there where Republicans were paying the price for not following through with defunding Planned Parenthood, not putting money in for the border while they had a chance, continuing to pass omnibus bills, not being able to explain it to the American people. There's so many things that the Republicans had to pay for in this last election. So they never discussed those districts where Republicans that could not answer the questions to their conservative districts or conservative/moderate, whatever you call them, they never discuss how the Democrats rushed in and put posers in place to pose as moderates, to pose as people that would work with Donald Trump, to pose as people that would vote against Nancy Pelosi, to pose as people that, they found veterans to go in and run as Democrats. I mean, they did everything. They checked off everything in those areas. So America as a whole did not reject Donald Trump. America in pockets, in districts, certain districts rejected Republicans. Not so much Donald Trump. Republicans. You had a little bit of discord with Donald Trump, the President of the United States, but they rejected Republicans. But for the most part, America needs to know that these people, as though I have on the screen, Miss Omar, a liberal, progressive, left-leaning, all the above area in Minnesota, elected this lady, not America. But America needs to see. And I'll tell you what, they've stepped up now and they've stepped in it, okay? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. America is taking a good look at this representative from Queens, a very liberal place, not America, not Kansas, not Iowa, not Idaho, the Queens in New York. And you know, the people that live out there, you know, it's like they say, the people in the big cities, the wealthy people think that they grow those steaks at the grocery store, okay? There's people that standing at the meat counter right now in some of those fancy grocery stores in those elite neighborhoods in these cities that are asking the butcher with the little white coat and the hat and everything like that, and he's got the bibs, got blood on it and everything, because they think that he's back there manufacturing that steak. Could you cut me one like this? That's what they think. They've never traveled out there where they roam on the range and they bring them in and put them down to get you that ground chuck that you enjoy. Or you like a chicken and fish deal. So anyhow, America's getting exposed to these people. Now this lady here, the more we can let America see, okay? Now, I'm not asking anybody to attack a religion this morning, okay? We're not going to spend our 30 minutes attacking on a religion. But the more America could see and you share with your friends, this is who they elected. This is who they passed a rule in the House of Representatives that you can now cover your head. And this is who's questioning. This is the House Foreign Affairs Committee yesterday, okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you who the gentleman is, many of you may know, until after the video. Then we're going to talk about the deal. We're going to get that in 30 minutes. The deal, the no deal, I call it, okay? Please, Mr. President, don't sign this. But anyhow, I told you if you do, I'll support you come Monday morning, but it's not going to be easy, Mr. President. I don't think you should sign this. Then we're going to talk about a couple other things in the 30 minutes, but this is 3 minutes and 58 seconds. I understand, but I'm going to tell you, it's important to stay through, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about this guy that she's questioning, this lady's questioning. And America needs to see, you need to share this with all of America, all of your friends in Florida, California, wherever they may be. This is what is in the Democrats' house. This is what's on these committees now. All right? Roll the tape.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for your testimonies. Mr. Adams, in 1991, you pleaded guilty to 2 counts of withholding information from Congress regarding your involvement in the Iran-Contra affair, for which you were later pardoned by President George H.W. Bush. I fail to understand why members of this committee or the American people should find any testimony that you give today to be truthful.
If I can respond to that.
It wasn't a question.
That
was not a question. That was I reserve the right to my time.
It is not right.
That was not a question.
Committee can attack
on February 8th,
who is not permitted to reply.
That was not a question. Thank you for your participation. On February 8th, 1982, you testified before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee about U.S. policy in El Salvador. In that hearing, you dismissed as communist propaganda report about the massacre of El Mozote, in which more than 800 civilians, including children as young as 2 years old, were brutally murdered by US-trained troops. During that massacre, some of those troops bragged about raping a 12-year-old girl before they killed them. Girls before they killed them. You later said that the US policy in El Salvador was a fabulous achievement. Yes or no, do you still think so?
From the day that President Duarte was elected in a free election to this day, El Salvador has been a democracy. That's a fabulous achievement.
Yes or no, do you think that massacre was a fabulous achievement that happened under our watch?
That is a ridiculous question, and I
Yes or no?
No.
I will
Sorry, Mr.
I will
Chairman,
take
but
that as a yes.
I am not going to respond to that kind of personal attack, which is not a question.
Yes or no, would you support an armed faction within Venezuela that engages in war crimes, crimes against humanity or genocide, if you believe they were serving U.S. interest, as you did in Guatemala, El Salvador, and Nicaragua?
I am not going to respond to that question. I'm sorry. I don't think this entire line of questioning is meant to be real questions, and so I will not reply.
Whether you, under your watch, a genocide will take place, and you will look the other way because American interests were being upheld, is a fair question, because the American people want to know that anytime we engage a country, that we think about what our actions could be and how we believe our values are being furthered. That is my question. Will you make sure that human rights are not violated and that we uphold international and human rights?
I suppose there is a question in there, and the answer is that the entire thrust of American policy in Venezuela is to support the Venezuelan people's effort to restore democracy to their country. That's our policy.
I don't think anybody disputes that. The question I had for you is that does the interest of the United States include protecting human rights and include protecting people against genocide?
That is always the position of the United States.
Thank you. I yield back my time.
Put that picture back up, the one I had, number one. First of all, she needs removed, okay? She needs removed from the Foreign Affairs Committee immediately. So what Nancy Pelosi needs to remove this individual immediately, okay? Two, her anti-Semitic tweets, which she did not apologize for. Nancy Pelosi wrote her an apology, and then she wrote on the end, yes, I apologize, but. So she did not apologize, okay? Second, this is her defending, now when I say defending, Maduro in Venezuela, okay? This is supposed to be a discussion about Venezuela. Now, one thing is, I want to be clear, all right? United States Special Envoy to Venezuela. Now, first of all, she can't pronounce anything, you know, coming from me. She doesn't even really know who she's talking to. Whoever wrote these notes for her, okay, he was charged with he was originally, this is Elliot Abrams, okay, Elliot Abrams. He is President Donald Trump's special envoy to Venezuela, okay? He was involved in the Iran-Contra, okay, with Ronald Reagan. He was appointed by Ronald Reagan. He was a lawyer. He served in the foreign policy positions for Ronald Reagan, George W. Bush, and now Donald Trump. Okay, he was charged with 2 misdemeanor counts: unlawfully, 1991 Congress, okay, Reagan administration during the testimonies, the Iran-Contra. Now, you may not remember that, but I do. Now, when Iran-Contra investigation was going on and Congress was attacking on a daily basis, all right, going after the Reagan administration, they were looking for anything like they do today that does not sync up in line where they could say, you misled Congress, you lied to Congress. All right? That's what they did with Elliott Abrams in 1991, is he was convicted. He's best known for his involvement in the Iran-Contra scandal during the Reagan administration, which led to his conviction in 1991 to 2 misdemeanor court counts of unlawfully withholding information from Congress. George W. Bush pardoned him. Yes, during George W. Bush's first term, he was pardoned by George H. Bush, okay? George H. Bush pardoned him. He was pardoned. 2 misdemeanors, all right? 2 misdemeanors. They basically don't go on your record. A misdemeanor could be, traffic tickets are misdemeanors. But anyhow, he was charged with 2. He was pardoned. Second, he's Jewish. Do you see the way this woman treated him? That is the Democrat playbook right there. Did you watch last week the way Whitaker was treated on the Hill? The Democrats, this nasty, disrespectful, going after people personally. This woman went after this man yesterday. He is the United States Special Envoy to Venezuela. Now, in her line of questioning, did you see anything that really pertained to the Special Envoy to Venezuela that we are trying to work out now through Colombia? Did you see anything in that? She's a nasty little kid. They're children. They're disrespectful. You see her grinning, okay? Where is the outrage? The way this woman treated this Jewish man yesterday. Now, the reason I bring that up is today, all the media is running her defense. There's no outrage anywhere on CNN, MSNBC, anywhere on how he was treated yesterday by her. Now, I will say, not to go into the controversial world, on one side, this is a Jewish American citizen, and on the other side, this is a Muslim American citizen. You can't pick up she went after him yesterday? Maybe she's a little mad. Did you hear what she said to the CNN reporter that tried to ask her a question about her anti-Semitic tweet? She said, "What's wrong with you?" Maybe she's angry. Maybe they're not going to get in the box that Nancy wants them to be in. Reason I bring up where's the outrage, because today they're going after Kevin McCarthy, okay? They're going after Kevin McCarthy today. Why? Because remember he sent that tweet, okay? Remember Kevin McCarthy sent that tweet that said something referring to George Soros, Tom Steyer, and Michael Bloomberg trying to buy the election. Facts are facts. We had the dollar amounts, but they happen to be Jewish. McCarthy pulled it down during the election, but they're going after him for his anti-Semitic tweet. No, that's not anti-Semitic. The facts are Tom Steyer is on TV every day saying he wants to impeach the president, and he spent an enormous amount of money trying to get candidates elected that oppose President Trump. George Soros has done the same thing, and Michael Bloomberg, we've got the list of his gun advocacy group that he poured millions of dollars in. Michael Bloomberg is already committed to $500 million to go after the president and Republicans in the upcoming 2020. So it's not that we can, and now they're going after the president about his comments at a Republican Jewish conference saying, I don't want your money. I mean, it's just ridiculous the way they're trying to protect this woman. But I think out there, and I'm going to move on from this subject, I've only got a couple more minutes before it's time for Carla's Corner. I'm going to tell you right now, you got to play this video. You got to send pictures like this to your friends. You got to say, not ugly stuff, but you got to say, this is what we've come to, these snotty little kids. When I say don't say ugly stuff, but these, excuse me, disrespectful people in our look at what it's come to. The attacks. The absolute attacks. Look at the attacks that were put on Whitaker last week. This woman here, this guy here, her picture, all Ocasio-Cortez. She needs to be a poster child out there for hate. I mean, you need to put it out everywhere you can, as much as Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She needs to be put out there. Just the visual of watching that we have changed the rules for her to have her head covering, knowing she hates Jews. She hates Jews. And that happened to be a Jewish person there, Mr. Abrams, the envoy there, special envoy to Venezuela, and I didn't see where the American people got any real information from that. Human rights, genocide, and as he said, there was no real questions. There was no real questions. Very disrespectful and personal attack. So I think America, you need to let, viewers out there, you need to let America know this is what's going on. This is who this person is. Where's the outrage that this Mr. Elliot Abram, a Jewish, born into a Jewish family, where's the outrage? This guy is the special envoy to Venezuela. How come they're not more interested, the Council on Foreign Affairs, on what's happened in Venezuela? And how come she's not more interested in the people? Do you know how many, I know I keep saying it again, do you know how many thousands? I listened to the president of Colombia in an interview, and the president of the United States hosted the president of Colombia. I'm pretty sure I got that right. You know how many thousands are pouring from Venezuela across their borders daily? Thousands. Because they're hungry, they're starving, okay? They're having to eat their own animals. Oh, I'm serious as can be. It's a disaster. And she's talking to him like, human rights? Really? She needs to be taken off the Council of Foreign, Committee of Foreign Affairs for the House. And her anti-Semitic views and her hatred on display for this man based on the fact that he's Jewish, she needs removed. She needs to resign immediately. Really quickly, number 17, the bullet train there that failed the test there in the President of the United States tweeted out, California has been forced to cancel the massive bullet train project after having spent and wasted billions of dollars. Folks, this is the reason I brought this up Monday. We were ahead of the curve on this one. They owe the federal government $3.5 billion. We want the money back now. Send the money now. He sent a demand letter. Whole project is a green disaster. The whole project's a green disaster. We want the money back now. So that's the President of the United States. We brought you that story Monday. Okay, now number 9, Pelosi rejects calls. Pelosi, number 9, Pelosi rejects calls to remove Representative Omar from Foreign Affairs Committee. Joe Scarborough said that Democrats need to not continue to just come out and say what they want before it's vetted and wonder what Nancy would do. Nancy Pelosi, Joe is recommending that Omar, Cortez, Alexandria Cortez, whatever her name is. They all run everything through Nancy's office, all right? And number 12, find out what Nancy would do. Now, on the border deal, okay, here's what MSNBC is showing, because MSNBC and CNN are not showing actually what the deal is. Border Security Conference Committee report $22.54 billion in border security. They're leading you to believe there's a lie out there. They're leading you to believe that there's a compromise, increase in security and humanitarian needs, $564 million for equipment, $414 million for relief and aid at the border, 600 new customs officers, 75 immigration judge teams, and $527 million for assistance to Central American countries. Now, here's what, it's 1,100 pages. 1,100 pages. Here's number 14. I got to give Fox credit, because out of the 1,100 pages, they're also throwing in a 1.9% pay raise for federal civilian workers. Really? Really? Okay. And see, these are things that Trump, these are not things they're throwing in. These are things that Trump already nixed. He already said no to this. $3.8 billion invested in census. Really? I'm telling you, this is really a bad deal. Invested in the census, $9.3 billion. Now, we're going to get $1.37 billion for 55 miles of wall. And I understand in the 55 miles of wall, Trump cannot use one of his prototypes as wall. I understand it goes as far to say he can't use concrete. I'm serious. This is not a deal. $9.3 billion for EPA and Land and Water Conservation Fund. These are the cuts that the president worked and got rid of, the things that he got rid of in the first 2 years. And we can't get, right there alone, 9, 10, 11, 12, almost $13 billion for liberal Democrat wins for a trade of 1.37. I'm going to tell you this for the last time, Mr. President. Number 18, really quick. When you get a deal, somebody that calls you a deal, that's Richard Shelby, the Republican, and Patrick Leahy, the Democrat, Alabama and Vermont. When you have these two come out, remember Shelby has been in the Senate since 1986. What's significant about that? 1986 is when the Ronald Reagan amnesty immigration deal went through, and Leahy's been there since like 1976 or 71. He's in the 1970s where this guy is in, and this guy's 1986, and they come out and say they've made a deal. Okay, number 19, anytime you see a screen, number 19, and it says bipartisan support for border security compromise, Chuck Schumer, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So I say very easily, no, Mr. President. Do not sign this. This is not a deal. Shut it down. If you do sign it, I will support you on Monday morning. We'll figure out where to go from here. But I have to tell you right now, for the guy that wrote The Art of the Deal and the President of the United States that I support, signing this is a tough gut punch. They're all in love with the story this morning. They love to hate the president. Kamala Harris, number 10. Kamala Harris, presidential hopeful Democrat there from Oakland, California, said that marijuana brings people a lot of joy. Let me tell you what brings Democrats joy is not marijuana. The joy of seeing if they can hate or report something negative on the President of the United States. Federal judge rules that Paul Manafort lied to Mueller about his contacts with Russian aid. Let me just say this. Mueller knew all along that his gig with the President of the United States was short-lived. Paul Manafort Manafort knew all along that his gig with the President of the United States was short-lived. And Paul Manafort, his job all the way back with President Ronald Reagan was to was to round in the delegates and close up the deal for the nomination, and that was his job right there with the Trump organization, to go in to the convention and round up the nomination and complete it with the delegates. And he knew it was short-lived, so possibly was Paul out there doing some things with the Ukrainian government that he shouldn't have been doing? I don't know. Take a break. We'll be right back. It's time for Carla's Corner. Sorry, we're running just a minute long.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on-site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead. The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead, Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Okay, new rule, new rule. I have to approve background.
No, we've already went over that rule.
So that rule, I'm just spouting this out, it's useless. Yeah, I'm wasting my time.
Yep.
Okay, so although I'm being told I'm wasting my time on the new rule, okay, I have to look at that for the next 20 minutes. Good morning, it's happy Valentine's Day with
Happy Valentine's Day.
with my smile here, and it is February 14th, and I'm with Carla, and it's time for Carla's Corner. So, you and I are spending our Valentine's Day together. Cool.
Don't say it like that. That's weird. Don't make it weird.
I didn't make it weird. It's Valentine's. We're doing the show. We're spending Valentine's.
This is the first time we've done the show on Valentine's
Exactly.
Day. We've done Valentine's Day specials.
Yes, right. But I'm making it weird.
Yeah, don't make it weird.
Don't make it weird. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, the people at home just can't get over this. Bam! In your face. It's Happy Valentine's Day.
Well, I will say this year's probably... my kids have kind of reached that age where we're not really doing the whole... I got to sit and do all the Valentines with them and make the boxes and all the cute stuff and the parties and the cupcakes and the fun stuff. So this year's kind of just been a year. We have a soccer game tonight. We have, just Charlie's going bowling, so it's just not like I don't have the feels for Valentine's Day this year. So just so y'all know, I am forcing my way through this with some not so much love, but that's okay, because I'm gonna tell y'all where you can go find the love.
I just told her we were spending Valentine's Day together.
Maybe that's why it doesn't feel like Valentine's, because we're together.
And you came back as weird. I was trying to be nice about it. I mean, you always miss my, you miss these things with me. So wait a minute, let's not gloss over this. Charlie's going bowling?
He bowled on Thursday night.
Thursday night? So it's just Thursday night to Charlie. It's Thursday night.
It's just Thursday night. We have soccer game. We have stuff. It's just, I got to get laundry done.
Can't you just go bowling with him?
No, it's a league.
Oh, no girls allowed?
No. Well, I'm not on a team, so it wouldn't make sense for me to go.
You sit back there and you cheer him on.
Oh, no, he hates that.
Wow.
And he hates to see me bowl, too, so. Because he's like, well, I'm like one of those, like, I'm going to throw it through my legs this time, and I'm going to do the
no, you can't. Stay home, stay home. I'm with Charlie now.
He's like, I can't watch you do this. Like,
I understand. We do not want you trick bowlers out there that think this could be funny.
He's
next.
Legit bowling, so like he doesn't want to see me not legit bowling.
I bowled in a league when I was a kid. I bowled in a league for about 4 years, and we always made sure when we picked our teams, like we were 10 years old. We made sure we didn't get I'm sorry to put it this way, not the goofy kid, but the goofy kid that wanted to goof around and throw it between his legs. We made sure we never let that kid on our team. I don't know, is that wrong?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's going bowling for fun.
But the thing is now I know you're that kid.
Well, that's why I don't bowl in the league, because I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, so Thursday
my high
night.
score could be maybe a 75, 80. I think I've hit a 90 before.
Charlie, we understand why she doesn't get to go bowling. We understand that. We support you. It's Thursday night. It's league night. Go bowling with the rest of them at your league and enjoy your bowling. And you? So you're just going to sit home and watch TV?
I don't know. We got soccer game.
You got soccer game. You got stuff. So what else is going on? For those people out there that are not in the bowling league, those people out there that don't have your, it's Valentine's Day, what could they be enjoying tonight?
Shoot. Sorry, my skirt just got attached to my watch. The one thing I really want today, top of my list, Hometown Florist in Yesterday's Decor has the chocolate-covered strawberries.
I tell you what, they are knocking it out of the park, are they not?
Yes.
They are Hometown Florists right here in LJ. They did a great job, and we have that online. They did a great job assembling our Valentine's Day giveaway, which almost $250 worth of prizes that was won yesterday. We have the person online that won that. But they did a great job assembling all that and putting that together. There's also a $50 gift certificate in it for Hometown. But to look at all the arrangements they've done. And,
she was
I tell you
getting
what.
Bouquets ready.
So you like the chocolate?
I want some chocolate-covered strawberries. They look so good. So and while you're there, if you're gonna go get flowers, and then get chocolate-covered strawberries and make somebody happy. One-stop shop.
Make somebody happy.
Almost right next door, if it's not sold out, which I'm not positive if it is or not, River Street Tavern is doing their Valentine's Day dinner. Menus on their Facebook page.
Yes, you can find the menu on the Facebook page.
So if you want to have a dinner go get the flowers, the strawberries, dinner, all of that you can do just right there. We also have some things happening this weekend. Those of you that don't know the story of the heart-shaped stone at Fort Mountain State Park, you will be able to come hear that story, see the stone, do all of that this Saturday from 2 to 3. They're going to have tours of the the tower, the stone wall, and the West Overlook Trail, so you can go and check that out and hear that story. There is also, obviously all the vineyards are going to have amazing things happening this weekend. I know Carta K Vineyards in their downtown tasting room, we're going to have the chocolate tulip cups if you want those. Fain and Goat is going to have red wine, hot coffee, and cheesecakes for 2. If it's not sold out, which I think it is, Chateau Maitri has their annual Valentine's Italian dinner night. Smokehouse Country Grill also has a special menu for Valentine's Day. So does Charlie's Italian Restaurant. You've got the movie theater that you can go to. Southern Flair has a workshop on February 15th and 16th that you can go to and get crafty for Valentine's Day. Appalachian Trail Rides has some specials they're doing for Valentine's Day if you want to go horseback riding. You know, if you have a husband like mine who just enjoys fishing and probably loves the fish more than you, especially if it's a big one, you could go fishing. We have multiple guide services that can take you fishing for Valentine's Day. Abby's Ice Cream's doing their Be Mine Valentine's Day Couples event on February 14th, which is today, Valentine's Day. February 16th, if they still have tickets available, there's the 7th annual Jazz Cats Dinner and Valentine's Dance that you can get tickets for. We also have Walls of Books is doing a special little event this weekend. Hold on, let me find...
My apologies.
Turn your phone
I'm
off.
sorry.
Jeez.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize it was on.
Jeez.
I'm listening. I'm listening.
Hold on. I've got it right here for Walls of Books. They are having a Valentine's Day. Oh, I'm sorry. That was last weekend. My bad. Oops, my bad. Sorry.
Okay. You've read a pretty good list of things
there's
going
plenty
on.
of things.
I want to say out there, because I know from time to time, the First Lady of Gilmer County does watch the show, and that would be Barbara Paris. Now, Ms. Paris, please let your husband know, the chairman of Gilmer County, just because tonight is the scheduled monthly commissioners meeting, he is not exempt from doing something this evening. I had to throw that out there. I had Charlie and Barbara. Just fun. If you know Barbara out there, I
don't feel like he's going to declare his love from the podium.
No, but he can't just say, well, I have a meeting tonight. The one Charlie is going bowling. The other Charlie has a commissioner's meeting.
I'm pretty sure both of them would rather be fishing.
And both of them would rather be fishing. You got that right. We put that together. I was just saying that as a joke. So anyhow, and I know tonight at the meeting, if I go up and I say anything, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble because people want to go home.
Yes.
So,
true statement made for Valentine's Day.
I'll try not to make too many public comments.
I'm pretty sure you have a wife too.
I understand. I just said that I'm going to try not to make too many public comments tonight. So that we have so much going on, and
that was just Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Just wanted to put that out there. We also have a couple acoustic blends this Friday night at the Playhouse. If you want to go check out some awesome acoustic blends live music. Just a Valentine's Day packed weekend.
Yes, and the confusion of the daily weather report for North Georgia.
Oh my gosh, the weather.
I know. I didn't want to bring that up, but we're not far away from March, okay? And we got a lot of things happening in spring as spring approaches. So are you getting ready to tell the folks like what's happening, or we got anything we want to...
We do the show every week.
I understand,
Today
but...
is Valentine's Day.
I know it's Valentine's Day, but it's Thursday. There's the weekend coming up. There's the following weekend coming up. And next thing you know, I just wanted to say if there's anything out there.
Well, I wanted to mention because I'm kind of like, this is probably going to... I wish I could do that. I wish my husband was home so we could go do this. But they're having...
Don't cross your arms when you say that. That didn't play well out there to the public. You've already given Charlie permission to go bowling.
Okinawa is having a Valentine's Day hibachi special.
Oh, the chop chop.
I like seeing things caught on fire for Valentine's Day. I think that would be fun.
How late's it gonna be? How late's Charlie out bowling?
I don't know. But
Sorry, Charlie.
I just wanted to mention they've got like a combo. You get appetizer, hibachi meal, all that good stuff. That sounds really yummy. Anyway, so you want me to plug spring? There's lots of things happening in the spring as we're rolling towards the end of February quickly, so quickly. Like, where has January and February gone? Just
don't know.
Poof, gone. So in March, we have got Gibbs Gardens will be opening, and their Daffodil Fest, where you get to go see all the pretty, well, what we call in the South, March flowers. You can go see that. We will have Spring Wine Highway Week coming up. We will have our St. Patrick's Day event coming up in March. We will have, I'm trying to run down this whole list. Our Welcome Center is going to be opening in March.
I was wondering when you were going to get to that. That's why I brought it up.
Oh.
Did I hurt your train of thought?
No, I was just trying to make, I'm sure there are things I'm probably forgetting, but I was trying to make
Well,
sure.
I know the chamber, and all the information is on the chamber website. But I know the chamber. You've been putting out a lot of stuff on social media, reminding people of the downtown welcome center that we're going to have in March. Our grand opening, ribbon cutting grand opening, right?
Yep.
It's going to be a really, really big deal.
We're going to do the grand opening on March 15th. We'll
Right.
have music and food and a ribbon cutting, and you can come and see the facility. And then the following day, which is Saturday, will be the annual St. Patrick's Day event downtown. So the Welcome Center will be open
for St. Patrick's.
For St. Patrick's Day.
See, that's why I wanted you to say that. You say, well, it's Valentine's Day, and we do the show every week. I want people to mark their calendars now for this because...
Do you know how many people have asked me or told, like, correct, like I posted on our Facebook that we would be open for St. Patrick's Day, and they commented and corrected how I spelled St. Patrick's Day, or private messaged me and said I spelled it wrong. I was like, no, it really is St. Patrick's Day, not St. Patrick's Day.
Well, that's what the play on words that we've used for how many years now because the pets, we have the pet parade and
then I'm like,
everything.
you don't know about this? Because
No.
I spelled it right.
Exactly.
Just pointing that out. I spelled it right.
Yes, she did. But the reason I brought that out, that is the... now I've lost my train of thought. What is the house? What's the name of the house?
It was the Watkins house.
The Watkins house.
It is now the downtown welcome
And
center.
I'm going to tell you probably week after week until we have the grand opening, I'm going to tell you that I've had the opportunity to take a tour, and it's absolutely beautiful. And when you see the renovations done inside and the preservation of this building, this historic, very historic building in downtown LJ in this county, what they've done to preserve and restore this building's amazing to me. I love it.
I'm excited for the space. It's going to be nice to have some space downtown. I was actually there yesterday because, as you know, I was in a meeting with you and then meetings downtown, and I was running around. So it was so nice to just pop in, sit and eat my food while I'm getting some work done in between meetings downtown. So it was really nice having a little space.
Well, I've watched all the downtown events and have participated, our company has participated in almost every downtown event for the last 10 years here. Mm-hmm. And I've watched to where people, they just mingle all around the square. Mm-hmm. And they would absolutely, our guests and visitors would love to have that one spot where they can walk in, look around, see some other things in the county that's going on, see some other things happening, ask some questions.
Use the bathroom.
Whatever. Use the bathroom. All right, Carla, it is 8:55. We're almost closing. Anything else we haven't covered this morning that we wanted to make sure? Okay, because you're having that kind of Valentine's Day.
It's fine. We have our network luncheon today for the chamber. The chamber is going to be talking about some new initiatives.
And who is our sponsor today?
H&R Block.
That's right. H&R Block. In fact, I have coming up at 9:30 text.
I knew you were going to plug that, so I was like kind of like holding the smile, waiting for it.
H&R Block at 9:15 tax tips with Beth Bennett, and she will. H&R Block, Beth Bennett's H&R Block is the sponsor today for the network lunch.
Network luncheon. So we're excited the Chamber's doing a presentation and going to talk about some new opportunities in 2019 and some changes for this year.
That's great. That's great. So network lunch, as I always say, join the Chamber.
It's kind of full too, so if you didn't register,
Join the local Gilmer Chamber of Commerce, and then once you join, participate, and you will enjoy it. You will enjoy it, and I guarantee if you join, participate, you will enjoy it and benefit, and I promise you that. I'm your host, BKP. This is Carla, and I am still taken back by that bam in your face Happy Valentine's Day. But don't say we didn't tell you here, right? Don't say we didn't say Happy Valentine's Day, right?
We have been talking about Valentine's Day for 3 weeks.
Exactly,
You
and
better
there you
have a
go.
plan.
Happy Valentine's Day. Don't forget, you can always go to the Gilmer Chamber of Commerce website, and right there it is, gilmerchamber.com, and you can click on the calendar of events. You see up there in the corner, calendar of events. You click there, and all of the categories come up, and everything that's going on that we spoke about this morning, all the future events, the calendar, everything happening is under that calendar of events. And also,
please, I'm sorry.
And also, all of the ways to contact the Chamber if you have any questions that you don't see there is on the calendar of events. And also, Carla's Corner is on our YouTube channel, FYN TV, Fetch Your News YouTube channel. Subscribe to our channel today, and anytime we're live, because we run this live on YouTube, you'll get a notification. And also, they're on a playlist, so you go to playlist and hit Carla's Corner, and they're all right there, and you can share the show with your friends. Carla, you have a
Or you can just type Carla too, and you'll find me.
You just type Carla, and you find her.
I didn't know that
Just
till the other day.
type Carla, and you find her. Oh, there you go. That's my luck, right? That's my... Is that what I do on Thursdays? I type Carla and we find you here. Enjoy your day. You got a lot going on.
Yep.
Chamber lunch, a lot of activities today. People enjoy your Valentine's Day, and thank you to all of our sponsors that have participated in our giveaway, and all of the Chamber member sponsors that you have so many great deals out there. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about, you ever hear about that, when I say that, you ever hear people say, when was the first time you heard somebody say Mardi Gras in the mountain? What, like, were you wondering, like, okay, what is this? What do they do, right?
I know, so I'm probably.
You know, I'm talking about the first time. The first time.
But
like
I
the
go,
first time
I
you was
go
like,
way back with that event, like 10
Do you?
years. Like when I worked at.
Oh, so you know the lady that's coming in?
Oh yeah, when I worked at the Pickens
Oh,
Chamber,
yeah.
this was before it was at Chattahoochee Tech.
So tell them who we have coming in.
Gina Penley with Mardi Gras in the Mountains with Georgia Mountains Hospice. I love Gina, and this event has been an amazing event. Like I said, I've known about it for 10 years, and just so much fun. Definitely love this event.
Okay, that was a great plug for it because she loves the event. We're going to tell you all about it. Gina's going to be with us on the other side of this commercial.
I knew Gina was going to be saying
and you're going to find out, if you've ever wondered what it is and what the king and queen is all about. We're going to tell you right after this when Gina joins us after these commercials. Enjoyed the show today, Carla, and you have a wonderful day. Josh, take us a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East Ellijay. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ellijay next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and Ellijay, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Hey folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP, and joining us now is Gina Penley, Georgia Mountains Hospice. Gina, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You know, sometimes I think we'll go here, but then we'll go a little backwards. Sometimes I think the first time I ever heard of Mardi Gras in the mountains, I was wondering, what is this? But first, before we talk about Mardi Gras in the mountains that's coming up, tell us about Georgia Mountain Hospice and what Georgia Mountain Hospice is about first.
Okay. Georgia Mountains Hospice is a nonprofit hospice. We're the only true nonprofit hospice in this area. We're governed by an all-volunteer board of directors. So there's no corporation, no company behind us. We're just a freestanding operation. We've been there for 25 years. September was our 25th birthday. And we cover 10 North Georgia counties. We cover Cherokee, Pickens, Gilmer, Fannin, Union, Dawson, Forsyth, Murray, Bartow, and Gordon. So we cover a big area. We go into patients' homes, patients that have a terminal or life-limiting illness. Medicare, that's who pays us, Medicare and Medicaid, some private insurance. But Medicare says that these patients have to have a 6 months or less diagnosis. Now, that's if the disease runs its natural course, you know.
Right.
Sometimes it's longer, but that's what we deal with. We try to keep these patients as comfortable and happy and with as much dignity as possible in their own homes or nursing homes, assisted livings.
So you cover 10 counties, and it's for terminally ill going into patients' homes. And just to reiterate, you said you're a true nonprofit organization run by a volunteer board of directors.
Right, that's my boss. I have a group of nurses, aides, social workers, chaplains, volunteers that go into these patients' homes.
Now, what is so if you're paid through Medicare or Medicaid, whichever one, and you're paid through that, and you go into these homes, I know they don't pay out a lot, but you have several fundraisers throughout the year.
I do.
I mean, it's not just we're coming up on Mardi Gras in the mountains, but while we have this opportunity to talk, cover several of the fundraisers that you have also throughout the year before we get to this one.
Right. Well, as you said, Mardi Gras in the mountains we've done for 14 years. We have our first fundraiser that we ever did was the John Davis Golf Tournament, which everybody here in LJ knows John Davis. He's the founder of our tournament. And we have, this year will be our 27th year. This tournament was actually startup money. We raised it. We did the first one here at White Path to start up Georgia Mountains Hospice.
So this fundraiser, the John Davis
Golf Tournament.
This fundraiser is actually what really started kicking off and was the money you used to start Georgia Mountains Hospice.
Right. Originally, Georgia Mountains Hospice was a sister agency to, and I don't know if a lot of people will remember, Northwest Home Health years ago. It's now Amedisys Home Health. When Amedisys came into this area and bought Northwest Home Health, he didn't want hospices. That wasn't what his company did. They just bought home healths. So at that time, around 1999, 2000, Georgia Mountains Hospice became freestanding. So that's why we are freestanding. We were a sister agency, if you want to go back history, with Northwest Home Health originally.
So that golf tournament is coming up here soon?
Yes.
When does that one happen?
It's June the 5th. It's always the first Wednesday in June.
Okay. Before we get to this, any other fundraisers?
We do. We do. Yes, we do. We do what's called a Denim and Diamonds.
Yes, I know.
Now all of them are fun. Don't get me wrong.
No, they are.
We have a good time. All of them are fun. But
they're fun fundraisers. They really are.
They are. And they're very successful. We have a lot of support from this community. I couldn't be more thankful and appreciative to this generous communities, all of them that we live in. But Denim and Diamonds, I guess, for my staff, is the most fun. It's boots, blue jeans, and bling. So you wear your boots and your blue jeans and your bling, real or not, to this, and it is a little more laid back. It's we do have a band DJ type thing. We have a silent auction there as well, but it's more of a bigger line dancing type party where the Mardi Gras is a little more black tie optional wine, you know.
So we're going from the golf tournament to denim.
It's in the fall.
Denim and diamonds in the fall. Okay, now let's get to Mardi Gras in the mountains. Tell us what Mardi Gras in the mountain is, and we're going to go through and we're going to give you a chance to see all of the contestants, or what I say, the contestants for King and Queen, that you can vote for by donating. But tell us. What was the inspiration to get this? Is 14?
Okay.
Is it
it's 14 years ago.
What was the inspiration, and what is this fundraiser?
Okay, 14 years ago, the Knights of Columbus, which is a men's group in the Catholic Church, came to us and said they wanted to do a fundraiser, pardon me, for Georgia Mountains Hospice. They wanted to partner with us, and this was their idea, Mardi Gras in the Mountains. They had the group that wanted to, the manpower, they wanted to help, but they didn't have the way to put it on. They needed a nonprofit. They just didn't know how to get it started, the organization. So it was started, Mardi Gras in the Mountains. And we partnered with them and did the first one at the school. We did a couple of them here in LJ, and just, you know, they were smaller, quite a bit smaller, about 150 people, you know. So about 7 years ago, the Rotary Club in Jasper asked if they could partner with this. They brought to the table people. You know, we had the organization, we had the event, you know, we had the date. So they wanted to make it a little larger. And they came up with an idea. We would get King and Queen nominees from 4 different counties. So I get a King and Queen from Gilmer County, Pickens County, Cherokee County, and Dawson County. People raise money. $1 equals 1 vote, or $100 is 100 votes, to get people to just vote for this King and Queen for no reason. They just give money. It's free money. And the one who has the most votes win. Now, I will be honest and say I thought that was the hokiest idea I'd ever heard of to start with. I didn't really think people would do that. Now these King and Queens raise anywhere from $25,000 to $40,000, depending on how much they work every year. I've eaten my word several times over the last.
So when
few
they
years.
first, I understand. I understand that you got to think about this.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How did this? This sounds a little. I'll go with
a little hokey,
right? So the first time they brought it to you, like, okay, we'll put up a King and Queen candidate for every county.
Yeah, first you got to get people to agree to do that.
Right, you got to get them to agree to do that, and then we'll put them up as candidates, and people can donate. Every dollar is a vote.
Right,
Some people donate $3, $300, or whatever.
Right.
And that's how we'll raise money. And at first you're thinking, really? And now it's
and you got to get people that are willing to go out and ask for money. You've got to get people that have buy-in to your cause, whether it be hospice or the charities that, now, granted, hospice gets the majority of the money, but Rotary and the Knights of Columbus, here in LJ, it goes toward the food pantry and pregnancy center and some of the charities that they participate in here. Same thing, St. Vincent de Paul in Jasper. But you have to get people.
So Georgia Mountains Hospice is the
largest recipient.
Largest recipient. But through these counties, there are other charities that do benefit from it.
Right. It stays in these 2 counties, though. The money stays in these 2 counties.
Well, I will say this. Let's do this really quickly, and then we'll ask a couple final questions. Now, these are our candidates. And we're going to put up our first one. This is Cherokee. This is the candidate for Cherokee County Queen, Lori Davis. Okay. All right. His system froze up a little bit there. He's going to give me the high sign when he's ready to put him up. But now on the king and queen candidates, let me ask you this before we get to that. He's going to tell me when we're ready. How much do you raise on this generally, and how much does this generally bring in as a fundraiser?
Well, the total the event brings in, we usually profit anywhere from probably $60,000 to $70,000.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Are you ready, Josh? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go now. The candidate for Cherokee County Queen, Lori Davis.
Mm-hmm.
There's Lori. That's the candidate there. Now, when we get done, we're going to tell you how you can go and vote for these candidates and donate. We're going to tell you that. Our next Cherokee County King candidate is Eddie Robinson there. He is the candidate there in Cherokee County for King. Moving over to Dawson County, all right, the Dawson Queen candidate is Andrea McKenzie. Right there she is. She's a candidate in Dawson for Queen. And our King candidate in Dawson, Bob Allman. Right there he is. And there's Bob. And Gilmer County, which many of us know, is Cindy Thurman West there. Gilmer County candidate for Queen. And our King candidate in Gilmer County is Robert Ferguson. There's our candidate for King here in Gilmer County. And then Pickens County Queen and King are pictured together.
They are.
There's Michelle Robinson and Gerard Monty. There they are. They're their candidates there, and they have individual donation buttons, but they're pictured together. Now let me say this before we finish our time here. You go to, if you'll go to Georgia Mountain Hospice, or you just type in search Mardi Gras in the Mountains, and I promise in the search key it'll come up. Or you go to Georgia Mountains Hospice website, right on the top, there's the big picture there, Mardi Gras in the Mountains. You click on that and you'll go right to the page there, and you have an opportunity to vote. There's a button there, there's a donate button under every candidate that you could choose to make a donation to this great cause here. Now, when is this happening?
It's March the 2nd. It'll be at Chattahoochee Technical College. And do I have just a minute?
Yeah, we
do fundraisers, and I told you the first fundraiser was startup money. But I want people to know that the fundraisers, the money that we get, it doesn't go for overhead or salaries. This money goes for a couple of programs. One of them is indigent funds. I've been there at Georgia Mountains Hospice for 24 years, and we have never turned down anyone because they couldn't pay, because they had no funding or no insurance. They're not treated any different from anyone else just because they don't have the money to pay for our services. We will take anyone. We've never turned them down. And you do have a lot of people in this area that may have cut timber or are too young to have Medicare or been in business for themselves and don't have insurance, can't afford it. We've always taken them. We take children. We're the only hospice in this area that will take children. We have 2 children right now. It's a little more expensive and a little more difficult to take children. So that's something that Georgia Mountains Hospice has always done. Veteran care, we have special programs for our veterans. We are, I don't want to say partnered, but we work very closely with the VA. We attend monthly meetings with the VA. They have a special program. We're a level 4 partnership. We're the only hospice in this area that have completed that partnership. There's only 21 in the state of Georgia that have done it. So, I mean, there's a lot of things about Georgia Mountains Hospice that we use this money for, other than just to keep the doors open and pay the bills.
You know, I'm glad you said that, because that was exactly what I wanted to discuss, is because throughout the time here that we've been talking, we could have people, which most people say, okay, donate, raise money, and most people want to know, and we're giving people. Right. We just are. People like to support things, and America's the most giving country in the world, but we want to know, where does the money go? Right. And I think that was important for us to round out with this morning, is where does the money go? And you do have an indigent care, And that is meaning if you can't pay and you don't
Right.
have any source to pay, so you have an indigent care and you've never turned anybody down. I think I can understand, just thinking about it for a minute, you take children and you say that's a little more difficult.
It is more difficult. Their care is a little
Right,
more
a little
expensive.
different, more expensive. So, but you take children and you work closely with the VA, you attend their meetings, and you work closely with them in any way that you can to help that way veterans.
We're very proud of our service to the veterans, and we do a program called Wishes and Dreams. Part of this money goes to that program. I patterned it after kind of the Make-A-Wish program. Some people, it's not based on income. Some people don't have, if they're caring for someone, they don't have the time or just the energy to sit down and plan something or do something special sometimes. But we have paid for people to do a last trip to Gatlinburg because that's where they spent their anniversary. So we'll help set that up. We take this money. We had a 12-year-old that we had in Dawsonville that wanted to go to a Georgia Tech game. Ed Singleton and I worked to get him tickets at the 50-yard line to the Georgia Tech game, and he took his mother and his brother and his 12-year-old girlfriend. I show a video at Mardi Gras to explain some of the things we've done because, again, I want people to know where their money goes, and I want them to feel good about the money they donate and what they're giving. I want it to I want them to want to give to this agency. So, I mean, I want them to know.
Folks, just where we
Sorry.
started. No, you did not know. You did an outstanding job. Where we started this morning was talking about that Georgia Mountains Hospice does not turn people down. It is a true nonprofit run by a volunteer board of directors, okay, that raises money for the different, and you see the different ways they use the funds that they raise. But something that, very, very important here is where someone has been diagnosed with a terminal illness, has been diagnosed with 6 months to live, and that's their mission. That's what they do, and they do a great job at it. And thank you very much. More information, don't forget, Georgia Mountains Hospice. That's all you got to do. Type that in. You're going to find it on the web. You can find Mardi Gras in the mountains, find out how to participate, how to donate for one of the candidates we showed you. And also, if you want to share this with your friends, you go to FYNTV, Fetch Your News YouTube channel, and share this video this morning with your friends. Gina, thank you very much. I've enjoyed it. You've helped me. A lot of information for me, and that's what we enjoy here, is bringing you information. We're going to take a brief break, and we'll be back after these messages.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on-site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Better days ahead.
The leaves aren't the only thing falling in Jasper. The prices are falling too at Days Chevrolet. Now during the model year end clearance, get huge savings up to $14,000 off Chevy Silverado Crew Cab and save up to $7,000 off new Chevy Cruze. The prices are falling on every 2018 Chevy in stock during the model year end clearance, going on now at Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in LJ next to Walmart.
Circuit World, with multiple locations to serve you in Murphy and Franklin, North Carolina, Blairsville, Blue Ridge, and LJ, Georgia. Locally owned and operated since 1985. Appliances, electronics, and furniture. Name brand products like LG, Samsung, Dell, Whirlpool, Ashley, Catnapper, and more. No credit check, only 10% down on furniture, and only $10 down on any new lease purchase. Mention FYN10 for your special deal today at Circuit World.
Do you feel like healthcare has become too impersonal?
3 times an hour, I'll get you in, I'll get you out.
At Lifetime Medical Center, you're more than a number. We get to know you, not just your medical issues. Dr. Alana Kent is board certified in family practice and offers same-day appointments. She and her staff treat conditions from minor to chronic issues. Lifetime Medical Center, convenient to Jasper and Blue Ridge.
This may sting a little.
Welcome to Mountain Valley Motors. Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles available, plus a wide selection of quality used vehicles. Located at 7535 Appalachian Highway in Blue Ridge, we treat the needs of each individual customer with paramount concern. We know that you have high expectations, and as a car dealer, we enjoy the challenge of meeting and exceeding those standards each and every time. Allow us to demonstrate our commitment to excellence. Our experienced sales staff is eager to share its knowledge and enthusiasm with you. We encourage you to browse our online inventory, schedule a test drive, and investigate financing options. Visit us online or call us at 706-516-1053.
Hey folks, we're back and I'm glad to have Beth Bennett, H&R Block. It's time for Tax Tips, H&R Block with Beth Bennett. Glad to have you back, Beth. You know, yesterday afternoon I made a phone call and I said, I needed to get you in here. There's too much happening. We don't know if the IRS is processing refunds, what pace, what's going on. And I just said I wanted to get you in here and see if you can update us a little bit on what you're seeing going on out there with tax refunds, tax filing this year. How are you doing?
I'm great, Brian. Thank you. So yes, the IRS is open. They opened officially on their regular date that they do every year, January the 28th. They were open and processing returns even while the government was shut down. That was something new that Congress enacted this year. During the shutdown, they brought them back to work. So even if on the 15th the government shuts down again, could happen, not really sure what's going to happen, nobody knows, IRS will continue to be open. They will continue to process tax returns and refunds for everyone. So come in, get your tax return done, get your refunds back now.
So let me just recap what you just told us here. So when the government went into a shutdown, the IRS was closed, okay, or not all the IRS, but the IRS, the part that processed refunds was shut down.
Correct. Only 12% of the IRS was working. The only part that was working was the people who sent out the nasty letters and collected taxes.
So, thank you.
You're welcome.
No, thank you so much, because exactly, it's funny how I'm with the IRS, those people stayed, they were essential to come shake down Americans, to send those letters out and say, you owe us money. But the people that process giving our money back. Now,
they were not working.
They were not working. And you know, the funny thing is, and don't take this wrong, I don't want to use this time to confuse anybody out there, but a tax refund is giving our money back.
Correct. They hold your money all
right,
year
exactly.
with no interest.
No, right. But you won't come to work to give me my money back, but you'll come to work to, pound on people they owe you money. All right, so that being said,
kind of like the mafia, huh?
Okay. All right. Well, that being said, during the shutdown, the IRS, the part of the IRS that processed refunds and returns was closed. And what you're telling us is Congress enacted something that said even during the time of a government shutdown, the IRS has to staff up and be there to process returns and refunds. So they came back in.
Correct.
All right. Now, even if we go into another shutdown, and this is why I wanted you to come in today, because I wanted to hear from you, a professional, even if the government goes into another shutdown, this time those people won't leave. They will stay in place.
That is correct. Even if we go into another shutdown, Congress enacted legislation that the IRS will continue to operate at full staff and process tax returns and refunds.
Thank you so much, because that was something I wanted to convey. Now, how is that going? Are they on track this year, the IRS? Is it slow? What are you seeing this tax season that's any different or on track with last year?
So as far as the IRS processing the refunds, they seem to be doing it a little quicker this year. The law passed a couple of years ago called the PATH Act, and that was to help stop some of the fraud on a few of the very high dollar credits and deductions, like the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit. Those are really big dollar credits, which had a lot of fraud around them. And so those returns, people were filing very early and stealing other people's identity. So you might come in and file your 15-year-old child on your tax return. You claim them as your dependent, and that child was, your return gets rejected and said that child's already filed a tax return. Well, they never filed. Someone has used that child's identity, filed a tax return with that kid, and claimed the earned income credit and child tax credit. So they've put a stop to that, and the PATH Act has been very successful in doing that. So there's a lot less fraud around that. They said come in, file early. That's a really big it's huge to file early. That's the best thing for identity theft. Come and file your taxes early. Even if you owe, file early. Just because you file your taxes on January 15th, you don't have to pay. Even if you owe $10,000, you don't have to pay till April 15th. You can file your tax return on January 15th. You don't have to send your check and pay the IRS what you owe them until April 15th. So, but what you're doing by filing early is stopping anyone from stealing your identity, and that's a big deal.
Okay, so those are some of the, so anyhow, getting past that one subject to move on, anything you hear out there, folks, as far as the IRS is concerned, or they're not processing returns or whatever that may be, that is false information, and that's why I was glad to get an opportunity to get Beth in here, a professional, to tell us what exactly is going on with the IRS, because we hear a lot of false information out there, from government shutdown to so many different things concerning filing this year opposed to others. What are some of the things that people need to remember as they're filing this year, Beth? What are some of the highlights that you wanted to make this morning?
So remember, if you have the earned income tax credit and the child tax credit, just like I just said, those refunds are supposed to be held till February 15th to review them, make sure that they're accurate and they're matching up addresses and income. Although we've seen some of those refunds be released already. We haven't seen that in the last few years. And that was a tax law that was passed, so we were very surprised by that. But if you have those credits and you really need your refund, H&R Block does have a refund advance loan where you could get up to $3,000 with a 0% interest and 0 fees. So that's a pretty cool deal where you could get that money instantly. So that's a very cool thing. Make sure you have all of your documents. Don't come in and file. If you know you have one more W-2 or anything else for your tax return, if you're waiting on a retirement, it will slow down your refund, cause you to get a letter. It's not worth the hassle because it's not going to get you money quicker to go ahead and file without something, because they are matching up all of those documents. They pull your social security number, they match everything, and say, oh wait, well this company reported a W-2 and it's not on his return. So everything goes to a screeching halt. You get a letter instead of your refund.
And I don't know, is this not the last week, if memory serves me right? I don't know, I don't handle that part of this company or really ever any company I was involved with, but isn't this like the last week that employers can send out their W-2?
Last week was.
Was it last week? Was
January
it last week?
31st was the cutoff
right.
for companies, employers to send out your W-2, your 1099.
I knew it was like first week of February or last week of January. I knew that was the area where.
Yep. The IRS will allow you, if you after February 15th, if you have not received your W-2 or your 1099 for your job, then you can file with a substitute W-2. But you have to wait till February 15th to allow time for them to mail it out or request it.
So you're supposed to have it out just because this is a question that comes up a lot.
Yep.
You're supposed to have it out by the end of January, and I do not want to misrepresent any laws, but basically the IRS says, okay, it's supposed to be out the end of January, so you really got till like February 15th, did you say?
At February 15th, the IRS will allow you to file a substitute
so
W-2.
between then and February 15th, you need to be seeing it in the mail.
Correct.
At February 15th, if you do not see it in the mail by then, by your former employer or your employer, you're able to do what you said is file a substitute W-2?
Right, where we would create it based on like the last paycheck stub that you had, or, I know I work 40 hours a week all year at $15 an hour, so this is what I should have made. I'm married and claimed 2 dependents, so we would help figure out what that.
Okay.
So we would create the best that we can based on the information you have.
But you're recommending wait to get all documents if possible before you come in, because it could create a problem down the road with your return, and the next thing you do, you're filing an amended return and.
Right, and those take 3 to 6 months to process and amend
Right.
it. So that really delays your refund. So you don't want to have to wait that additional time. It's better to give it an extra week or two and wait on that extra W-2 or that extra 1099. Some of it's a retirement, a pension, your health care, if you have the 1095A. A lot of people don't realize they have their health insurance through the marketplace because you went to a local insurance agent and you got your health care there. And they'll go to the marketplace and get it because that's still the best rate that they can get you.
What does that mean? You lost me there. What does that got to do with my taxes?
Well, because you still have to claim your health insurance on your tax return. That's still current for this year, right? You still have to say, yes, I had insurance, and file that. If you get it through the marketplace, you get a credit. They go on and you put in how much income you have, and then they find you insurance that best fits that. And the government supplements most people that get it through the marketplace.
So you still have to report that you had insurance.
Yeah, and then you've got to tally up at the end of the year. So if you said, I make $10,000 and they found you an insurance that meets that need there, and then let's just say you made 15, maybe you worked a whole bunch of overtime. And then so when you come in, you file your taxes, well, you exceeded the supplement. So now you got to pay money back. It's ugly. But this is the last year for that.
Wow, that is.
Didn't realize that, huh? Most people do not understand that. They don't see that. They just think that you're going on and you're getting cheaper insurance. But what's happening in the background that nobody sees is that the government is supplementing. They're sending a payment to that insurance for you.
Right.
Based on your income, they'll find you the cheapest insurance, but you can't afford to pay that much, so they're supplementing and paying, and it's different for everybody based on your family size, your income.
Let me get this right. So at the end of the year, when you do your taxes, if you are on the Affordable Care Act and you find your insurance that way, the government you're paying $100. Let's put it like that. You're paying $100 based on you told somebody you make $15,000. Leave it there, right? Okay. So really, what's happening is you're not paying $100. It's actually still costing $400. The government's sending $3.
Correct.
Correct, right?
But they're doing it on an annual basis, so they send one lump sum once you go in and apply. But yes, that is exactly right. And most people do not understand that.
You got to understand when I do stuff like this, it's to not confuse me.
Yep.
So don't go back. Okay. Tell me just.
Okay. Yes.
But
so yes,
realistically, if I'm sending $100 a month, the government sends one lump sum. They send the payments, supplement payments.
Yep.
But I know what you're saying. But if I find insurance and I think, wow, it's $100 a month, then I turn around. I'm not really getting it for $100 a month. It's costing $400. The government's sending 300 times 12 to an insurance company. Then when I do my taxes, it says, oh, I didn't make 15, I made 21. The government says, whoa, whoa, whoa. If you would have said 21 here, it would only been $200. So we need $1,200 back from you.
Jackpot.
Right?
Yes.
Hell, you say. Excuse my bad language.
See, so most people didn't understand that, and they were flabbergasted. Lots of people have had to pay back. I've seen people have to pay back $9,000. $9,000.
But
because they work for a living.
Wow. Okay. That's why I brought you in.
Yes,
there you go.
It's terrible, right? So, but the plus side is so that part.
But this is the last year we have to put up
for the penalty. You still have the health care unless something changes with that.
But the penalty
goes away this year. Okay. Right. This year on your tax return, when you come in and file now, you had to have health insurance for 17. If you didn't, you're paying a penalty.
Right.
Okay. For 2019, when you come in and file in 20. If you didn't have health insurance, there'll be no tax penalty. Right. However, and I'm not really good with, exact
Go ahead, give me the however.
But this is going to give you something to look at, and we'll talk about this next month. So, with no tax with no tax tied to the health care, that means that Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, can no longer be forced upon you. So that means Congress cannot legislate that you must have health care. So something will have to happen with the Affordable Care Act this year. They're either going to have to put the penalty back on or rework all of the Affordable Care Act.
So no matter what they say, all right, and let me just end this with, I could stay all day on this. So no matter what they say in Congress and tell us up there on those big TV channels, something has to happen this year with health care, period.
for going into 20.
Right, going into 20.
Going into 2020.
Right.
Once that penalty's gone, Congress can no longer legislate it. There's no tax tied to it. They cannot
Right.
legislate that you have to have the health care. And that came from, I heard that on Fox News and then read it. And that's been like a month ago that I read that. So
Something has to happen.
something's going to happen. I don't know what that'll be.
Right.
And
I
how
know.
they'll react. And I've heard nothing since that.
Beth, I appreciate it. Anything else? Because I don't want to leave off. You make notes. Is there something very important that we need to let the viewers know? Anything at all?
I know. I've really liked that we talked a lot about the healthcare because most people really just don't get that, and I'm glad that we went into deep depth. One thing I would like to share, it's kind of a little plug for us and for the Boys and Girls Club. H&R Block does a really cool thing. We do a nonprofit referral program where we've partnered with the Boys and Girls Club, and they have these cool little coupons printed out for $25 off. So if you're a new client, didn't use this last year, if you come in and get your taxes done with us, you get $25 off your tax preparation service, and H&R Block will give the Boys and Girls Club $20. So they're trying to get into a new building and trying to raise some money, and so we're trying to help them out there. And that goes to any H&R Block. It doesn't matter. If you get one of those coupons, you can go to any H&R Block anywhere and use that coupon, and it'll benefit our Boys and Girls Club here in Pickens, Gilmer, and Fannin County.
Beth, we
all joined together.
We appreciate you coming in, and if you can get me to understand it, we can break it down in little terms here for where I can understand it, and that's what we like to do is bring you information out there. You can see tax tips. H&R Block with Beth Bennett. How many locations do you have?
8.
8 locations, and don't forget, there's the phone number in the top corner of the screen to contact Beth and her staff there at H&R Block, and they have hours of operation, but during tax season, they make sure they accommodate all of their customers. So if you can't get there when they're open, call them and see what you can't work out, because I'll tell you what, they will do what they can to get your taxes taken care of, get them filed for you, and get the maximum return that you have coming. And that's only, and I do recommend, I know there's so many things out there on the internet that I do recommend you call them and you actually have somebody work with you to prepare your taxes, and you can't find a better group than what Beth Bennett has assembled at her H&R Blocks. 8 locations, right?
8 locations.
8 locations. So call them today, and don't forget, Tax Tips with Beth Bennett. Go to FYN TV, Fetch Your News YouTube channel, and under the playlist, Tax Tips with Beth Bennett, you could share this segment with so much information for your friends. Good, Beth?
Great. Thank you, Brian.
All right, let's go to break, and we'll be right back. Hey folks, it's time for Dr. David Markwell with Ridgeline Counseling. We always welcome him here with so many great subjects that we cover from week to week. Dr. Markwell, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Brian. How are you?
Okay, well, I'm doing fine, but we're gonna do I don't know, sometimes you call this the touching the third rail. So we're gonna reach out what I call sometimes when you get into parenting. So we're going to talk about parenting issues today, folks, setting boundaries, types of parenting styles, and suggested parenting books. So what issues do you want to start out with as far as this topic is concerned, Dr. Markwell?
Well, I think to start with, just a general kind of overview of the importance of setting limits and boundaries, and the importance of consistency with those boundaries. They actually have done research before, which was kind of astonishing, and they said that based on the research that sometimes if a parent is going to be inconsistent with boundary setting and limit setting, that it's actually better for the child for there to not even be any boundary attempts than to be inconsistent with them. So, I know as humans, we struggle with consistency in all walks of life, but especially from parenting and boundary setting. So from that standpoint, talking a little bit about, the importance of boundaries and limits and what those may look like.
So let me ask you a question, and to put it this way, is to be firm in the boundaries we set. As parents, if we say homework is done every day at 4, not 4:05, not 3:55, it's done at 4, so it can be completed no later than 4:45, so we can set the table for supper, whatever. If that's the boundary, that needs to hit every day at 4. And if you're just hitting and missing on that, you're really not accomplishing what you set out to do. Is that what I'm hearing, or am I going down the right line?
Well, you're in the right line in the sense that if there's there's a boundary or an understanding about homework, I always mention to parents that there are 3 things to keep in mind when it comes to boundaries or rules or limits. One is what you just said. They need to be firm, and they need to be fair, meaning kind of like the punishment fit the crime kind of thing. Right. And then also flexible. Now, some parents will question me and say, but how does firm and flexible work? And what I mean by that is, I agree that if, let's say, the assignment is homework, you come home, grab a snack, and start on homework at 4 o'clock, that needs to be the firm set of the rule and the boundary. However, we know life can sometimes throw us curveballs. So if for some reason something occurred that day at home or school within the family, and 4 o'clock isn't as firm as it normally would be, we can be flexible with it and say, you know what, last night we didn't get home from the vacation until 3 in the morning. I know you're tired. So today, I'd really like for you to stick to 4 o'clock, but if you can't really get going until about 4:30, that's okay for today. So there's still some firmness, but there's a little bit of flexibility with it.
Let me ask you this. What are some of the boundaries? And we're talking about parenting issues, and obviously those boundaries are different and the style is different, could be based on whether you have 3 to 8-year-olds in the house, or if you have 8 to 12s, or from 12 to 18-year-olds in the house. So what are some of the boundaries in some of those age groups that parents should set, and what are some of the differences of setting boundaries based on the age of the child?
Good question, because, as our kids get older, we actually, as parents, will sometimes run out of things that we can sometimes use as our workable mechanisms. When our kids are little, we could take away their Legos, we might take away their toys. As our kids get older, not only do their items become more expensive, but they get fewer. It's a car, it may be a phone, it could be friends. There's a little bit less leverage, I guess you could say, but for younger children, the main thing at that point is you just want to begin to establish a level of what I call authority as a parent. It doesn't mean you have to exercise this power over your kids, but just the authority mechanism, which is at the end of the day, as a mom or a dad, you do have the authority as a parent to decide when bedtime is, or if they do get to stay up and those kind of things. You just want to begin to establish those types of things. As they begin to become like pre-adolescent, it starts to shift a little bit. The research shows that in the middle school years, there's a lot more of frustration, not just for parents in the sense of parenting, but of course for kids. Middle school is a really tough time for kids with regard to the developmental stage that they're in. And then as they become more high school, you're just kind of reinforcing things you've already established. So for a 6-year-old, you probably wouldn't be establishing a boundary regarding a curfew, whereas you might for a sophomore or a junior in high school. But the principle's still the same. that if if you need to turn off your Fortnite game as a middle school kid, the same would be reinforcing that you need to be in at a certain time for the curfew that would fit that firm, fair, and flexible kind of mechanism.
Well, let me ask you. So, how important is it to start setting boundaries when? And I'm going to say newborn. Obviously, you got to get up to 1 and crawling and so on and so forth. But how important is it to set boundaries at that very early age as a toddler and stay firm with those? And will that benefit you later on as these children get older in understanding there are boundaries?
It does. It actually is good to try to start from an early age. Right now, my youngest daughter, I now have my second grandchild, and so I'm excited. And it's interesting when we'll talk on the phone, I can hear my 3-month-old granddaughter crying in the background, and I'm on the phone, so I can't reach out there and pick her up or whatever. And I'll say, "Is she okay?" And my daughter will say, "She's fine. She needs to kind of just sit there. She just wants to be held." So she's already trying to establish that mommy's not available, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are other things to do, and that there's still a safe environment, even as a 3-month-old. Now, will she remember that as a 3-year-old or a 13-year-old? Probably not. But you can really start establishing those things really early on. And there are a lot of helpful resources and books. Just to mention, there's one book called Parenting with Love and Logic. It does a really good book talking about always establishing a loving relationship with our children, but also implementing the importance of what's called consequences, logical consequences versus natural consequences. So like a natural consequence would be if the rule is that my children are supposed to bring their bikes in and put them in the garage for the night and close the garage, but one of my children, decides to leave their bike outside and it's taken. That's basically a natural consequence, because sometimes when things are left out, there are some people who will see things and take things that aren't theirs. That's more of a kind of a natural consequence. Or if it rains during the night and there's rust on the bike, that would be more of a natural consequence. A logical consequence would be they didn't bring it in, and because they didn't bring it in, I will, not let them ride their bike the next day just simply because of trying to teach them responsibility, whatever it may be. So that one book called Parenting with Love and Logic goes into detail about those. There's another good book that's called, it's an older book. It's out of print, but you can sometimes find it on different resources on the internet. It's called Good Behavior. And what I like about that particular book, it's kind of like a cheat sheet book. You can open it up. It's in alphabetical order. So if you're having struggles with your children over lying, if you turn to the letter L in the book, and there's a bunch of things, of which one section they cover is the idea of lying. You turn under, let's say, for example, B, which would be bedwetting. There's a section under bedwetting and all those kind of things. So it's kind of like a little cheat sheet book, and that's also a really good book as well.
Dr. Markwell, one more thing on our list here, and we probably have gone around this in a circle, but I'd like for you to be a little more specific. What are different types, we have that on the list, of parenting styles? What are different types of styles?
Well, for a long time, they've talked about 3 different parenting styles. There's what's called the authoritarian, which is more along the lines that it's the stereotypical parent that says, do as I say, don't do as I do. It's more of I'm the parent. There's no discussion about it, those type of things. That's usually what's referred to as authoritarian. And then on the opposite side of that, there's different terms. There's called permissive, and then laissez-faire, which is more of the hands-off parent. In our society today, sometimes it's more along the lines of a parent who might be a little hesitant to exercise authority as a parent, and their fear is, I want my children to like me, so I'll be their friend first, and that sometimes backfires, so they're hands off as a parent sometimes. And then in the middle is what's called authoritative, And what that's usually viewed as is a parent who at times has to choose to be stern, and it sometimes chooses to kind of stand hands off and let the child kind of deal with the consequences of the circumstance. And they're kind of choosing both of those. They're open for discussion, but at the same time, they practice the fact that they do have the authority as parents. And they're okay at sometimes yielding and saying, you know what, this is a circumstance. I really think this might not be a good decision, but I'm going to allow you the opportunity to see if it'll work. And then, of course, be there to support them.
Well, you know, I appreciate all those examples. With my own children, I went through a time, I'm not going to say what years, of where I think people started attempting to be friends with their children, and I'm not saying that's bad, okay? I'm not saying that, but that was the attempt, and you know, my thought process was, you know what? You make your friends at school.
Right.
I'm going to be your parent, so that's going to come first. Now, number two, we can go to the ball game. For example, my son and I always enjoyed as a kid going to baseball games. I mean, going to professional baseball games, whatever it may be, college basketball. We enjoyed that, but I made sure parent was one, friend was two.
Right.
And I got a quick question. I know we're running just a little long, but we're talking about this years ago. All right, I'm not going to give my age, but this is years ago. I'll just say my son's 34. So I'll leave it at that, okay? So we would get together as couples, okay? Friends of ours would get together as couples, and we're watching Sunday Night Football, and there's 4 couples together, and we all have little kids, okay, at this time. And I noticed one of my friends, their child, they would count. They would count, and they would say, I'm giving you to 3. Okay, if you don't get off, I'm giving you to 3 to get off that. And I would notice as the mother would count, it wasn't till 3 till she actually got the child's attention. 3 is when the child felt it was serious. And I discussed this with another friend of mine at a different time, and this is going back a couple years, sons. And I never could buy into that because I always said your children shouldn't have this space that they know they don't have to pay attention. That's just my opinion. So I don't know why I wanted to share that, but let's say.
Well, I was going to say that actually is based on a book that was written years ago called 1, 2, 3 Magic, and that was what it was taught was. There's the kind of the warning, the 1, the 2, the 3, but the truth of it is, and again, there's so many different types of parenting, techniques that are out there, but I agree with you. What I've seen sometimes is, kids are pretty smart and very resilient, so they learn that, mom and or dad are not going to react or do anything until they get to 3, so they kind of buy their time for 1 and 2. And so you're exactly right. You probably did see them waiting until the 3 came along, or right between 2 and 3 is when they finally started moving. But there are so many different parenting techniques. You just want to find one that will work with your child. And if you have more than one child, one technique may work with one child, and then a completely different technique may work with the other children. And so you just want to make sure, again, I think the biggest thing for most parents is just always work on being consistent.
You know what? I thank you. Sometimes you have shared so much great information today, but don't take this wrong. Sometimes we talk for about 10 minutes, and then finally something hits. It just wraps it all up. It pulls it together. What works for 1 doesn't always work for 2, and there's no 2 identical kids running around in the house. And,
right.
And like they say, until you have a situation where you have one kid saying he hit me or he touched me, or you have to find out the truth of who broke that lamp, that's a different situation.
Right.
Dr. Markwell, I can't thank you enough for coming and sharing so many great insights today about parenting, boundaries, styles, and books. We thank you very much for being with us, and we look forward to next week's topic.
Okay.
Okay, we've been with Dr. David Markwell, and he is with Ridgeline Counseling, and that is 706-314-8807. You can always find this segment right on our YouTube channel, FYN TV, Fetch Your News YouTube channel. Under the playlist, go to the playlist there and see Dr. Markwell, Ridgeline Counseling for all of our topics, and we'll have a new one next week.